pharmacist, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about work from home jobs. I know that to most people, when they think about working from home, they immediately have this feeling of, oh, that would be absolutely perfect, and that's exactly what I would love to do. However, as someone who worked from home for 4 years, I can shed a little light and some insight into working from home and how some of the pros and some of the cons that you might find in your career. First of all, I guess we'll go over the positives. To me, it's a pretty short list. First of all, working from home, most of the time you won't have a commute to your job. However, for somebody like me who is a mother, I still had to commute to take my children to where they're cared for and then drive home, which was pretty much equal to driving to work. So it was like a commute anyway. Secondly, another positive is you have a lot more privacy at home. You don't have to worry about office politics for the most part. You don't have to worry about office drama, you know, the stuff that happens that you just want to walk away from. Usually you don't have to worry about that. I guess that's about it. I really can't think of anything else positive that I can shed into it. There was a lot less distractions for me working from home than working on site in an office. A lot less, chit-chat or things like that. But I wanted to talk to you about the cons, because the cons are what we kind of gloss over and we don't really think about. But, for example, one of the first things that come to mind with my 20/20 hindsight, now that I'm not working from home anymore, is that you lose a lot of the personal connections that you have with people. So your boss doesn't really know you. They form a lot of opinions about you through the way you communicate via email, maybe telephone, or maybe instant message. For me, it did not work to my advantage to work from home in that aspect. I do a lot better in person. Secondly, I noticed that in talking with other people who work in human resources or whatever, people that interview other people, a work from home position can not look as good as a job on site. So, like I'm a pharmacist, so if I say I was a work from home pharmacist for 4 years, I've had a couple of people actually say to me, oh, really, well, what does a pharmacist do from home? And there's sort of a negative, sort of lazy, just kind of a feeling that maybe it's not as professional or as, go get 'em as some other positions that I could have done. It seems like to me in my profession in pharmacy, working from home also, there's not as many things that a company can look at. So when you're on site, your boss sees you on a daily basis or a bi-weekly basis, whatever, and they can sort of gauge what you're doing and if you're doing a good job and talk to others and are they team players and sort of get a feeling of what kind of employee you are. When you work from home, in my situation, it was how fast can you do your job and how accurate can you do your job. Everything else didn't matter. So it really limits, especially a pharmacist, it really limits you as far as being promoted. It limits you as far as your boss knowing you and having any sense of, it's almost like it's the kind of job for somebody or even a manager that's very black and white. You either did it all right or you did it all wrong. And, if you have children or whatever, tough, you still, this is what you're required to do. There's also a feeling of, oh, since you work from home, you need to do a lot more stuff for me as far as speed and all that. So if you are running into issues with orders or whatever, and I'm sort of digressing on the whole topic, but if you run into like normal things that a healthcare professional would on an order that maybe is multi-layer that you need to sort of sift through, you don't have the leeway to really do a very thorough professional job. You sort of have to bounce it back to somebody on site. So I found that to be a really big negative. And you know, the saddest part for me is that, you know, I worked from home for 4 years, and, you know, every job that I've had since graduating pharmacy school, there's always been a feeling of family and a feeling of, you know, you're leaving this job, we're going to miss you, and a sadness, and a, you know, just that whole, you know, you can tell I'm very much a woman saying all this stuff, because the emotion and the feeling and all this stuff that I felt. You know, when I left the work-at-home job with the same company and transferred, you know, I didn't get the phone call of, you know, we'll miss you, or how are you doing now that you've transferred. So the connection with people, the connection and feeling like you're being managed and, you know, managed professionally, all of that just wasn't there. So I would really think twice about working from home again. I'm a lot happier not working from home, and I honestly can say that I would be glad to answer any questions you have about work-at-home jobs. At the time, it was a really good situation for me the first couple of years that I did it, and that was about it. So I would say that you would have to be a certain type of person to do it. You know, maybe more of the introverted type, you know, task-oriented, and ability to, you know, be managed under those circumstances. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say today, and if you have any questions, feel free to post comments on this video. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and looking forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.